Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Friday, January 17th, 2025. I am Bishop Darrell Watkins, the senior minister here at Sunshine Cathedral. And with me are Sunshine Cathedral's ministers, Bishop Robert Griffin, Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell, and Reverend Kevin Tisdall. Visit sunshinecathedral.org to learn more about our progressive faith community and how you can be part of it, no matter where you live in the world. And if you live in South Florida, be sure to check out the Sunshine Cathedral Center for the Performing Arts, offering entertainment for the LGBTQ+ community to benefit the LGBTQ+ community. If you enjoyed the Queer God Squad, please share episodes with your friends, family, and social media communities. We appreciate your viewing and sharing and all the ways you support us. To learn more about Sunshine Cathedral, to make donations, or to buy tickets for shows featured at the Sunshine Cathedral Center for the Performing Arts, please visit sunshinecathedral.org. You can also follow us on social media. At Sunshine Cathedral, we're here to tell you that you are God's miracle, not God's mistake. Queer God Squad was created by Hotspots Happening Out in support of their mission to explore the value of faith in the LGBTQ community. In 2025, we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of Hotspots Magazine, the 25th anniversary of Queer News Tonight, and we produce the 25th anniversary of Stonewall Pride Parade and Festival on June the 14th. Hotspots Happening Out is the largest nonprofit LGBTQ media organization in America, and we encourage you to support our mission to inform, entertain, and educate our community and allies. This is the Sunshine Cathedral Perspective. The Madonna of Montevergine, Our Lady of Queer Folk. The Madonna of Montevergine has been helping LGBTQ people since the Middle Ages, or so some believe. Processions to her shrine have been called ancestral gay pride marches, and Italian LGBTQ activists have claimed her as an unofficial patron saint. And interest in her as an LGBTQ patroness seems to be growing. As homophobic as the church has historically been, an ancient legend of St. Mary coming to the rescue of a gay couple in the year 1256 has somehow endured. According to the legend, two men were in love and lived as a couple. Maybe no one noticed, or perhaps people thought they were brothers or friends, but one day they were seen walking to Mass holding hands and exchanging loving glances. There may have even been a quick smooch, or snog if you're living in the UK. There was immediate outrage. Cut to the two men tied naked to a tree in the freezing cold. Without rescue, they were bound to freeze to death or be ravaged by wolves. Christian love at work again. But the legend doesn't end there. The Blessed Mother was moved by the lovers' devotion to one another, and she sent unexpected sunshine to warm them, because that's how weather works. No longer paralyzed by fear and cold, they were able to wiggle free of their bonds and survive. Some versions of the story say the couple celebrated by making love on the spot. Because of this miracle, the community accepted the couple and never harassed them again. Montevirgine's biggest procession happens every year on Candlemas, which is February the 2nd. Traditional Candlemas celebrations involve a candle-lit procession to the church where candles are blessed for church and home use. Among Montevirgine's Candlemas pilgrims are gender-bending devotees of Mary known as femminiliali. The Abbey of Montevirgine is also important because the Shroud of Turin was hidden there for safekeeping during World War II. Let's talk about Our Lady of Queer Folk. I love this for so many reasons. Obviously, it's sort of a parable. Obviously, it's sort of a myth, which makes me, it's what I love about it. I love stories. I love myths. Because a myth is an attempt to tell the truth in the absence of evidence. So you know something is true, or you suspect something's true, and you're trying to figure out how. I know the sun rises. I see the sun rise. Well, now we know it doesn't rise. It doesn't move. But it seems to. We experience it as rising. So now I've come up with a story about some dude in a chariot riding across the sky, and that's the sun or whatever. So in the absence of evidence, we make up stories. Now, once we have better evidence, we've already grown to love the stories. We don't get rid of the stories. We just then reinterpret them. We reapply them. And so now they become psychological things or philosophical things that we find use for them, but we don't take them literally. And so I love myths because they get us somewhere until we have evidence, and then they have another use once we do have evidence. So we know that goddesses and saints and ancestors in the sky don't make sunshine on one little spot of the world, one little moment. That's probably not something that literally happened. And yet the story does show divine love, inclusion, acceptance, advocacy for love, no matter what. These are people in love. It's mutual. It's life-giving. It's not hurting anyone. In fact, people's prejudice hurt them. And then you see this figure of divinity, the divine feminine, taking the side of love and being present in the love, and the love being so powerful it even changes people's hearts and minds. Whether or not something like that ever happened, it is certainly how the way things ought to be. And so I love that story to say that love is divine, true love, shared love, can't be wrong. And if we could all sort of get on board with that, we'd have happier, healthier, more peaceful, more loving, more generous communities. So the story is very, very true for me, even though it almost certainly didn't happen. But that's true almost everything we read in the Bible. 100% true. Most of it didn't happen. And the same with this story for me is 100% true, even though it probably didn't happen. But it's a beautiful story. It's a story of love, and that love wins. And we just need all the stories of those, like that we can get.
Right. And I so appreciate that we have things like the Queer God Squad and Sunshine Cathedral to bring these stories to light. I mean, these are things that most people have never heard of, these myths, these stories. Yes, they're very familiar, of course, with the myths and the stories that are included in the Bible, but of course something like this is not included, so most people don't know about it. But the meaning that we can get from this, like you said, it's true, not necessarily factual, but true. But the truth that comes out of it are things that people can carry with them. And stories like this are not often heard.
Yeah, what I like about this story is the queer aspect of it.
Yeah.
That brings out so much for so many people, I think. Myth, true or not. But it's a story that shows that even in your darkest moment, even when you may feel all is lost, even when you have you're at wit's ends, there is still the presence of the divine that is there. That comes in to love, to protect, to shield, to guide, many things. So that's what I really like about this story. It's like, yes, they're people, they're in love, they're kissed, people get upset. It's like, let's get rid of them. But yet there's something that was holy in that moment for those two gentlemen. That mother shows up. Mama showed up, and Mama said, no, you're not going to kill my boys. And so I think that's just a really great reminder that regardless of what we're going through, when we're going through it, there is a presence that is always with us, and that reminds us that there's not a spot where God is not.
There you go.
Coming to Sunshine Cathedral has helped me re-embrace the word myth. There was a time when, in talking to friends about things in the Bible, and one of my friends in particular go, oh, those stories are just myths. You're ridiculous to believe in that kind of stuff. I would get angry because the Bible was the Bible. But as I got older and as I learned more, I realized, it can be a myth and still mean something to me. And I think that that's what these stories are. They have consequences for people that didn't know that they could be loved. That they didn't know that there was something positive in what they were doing. That we may not have the quote-unquote facts, so what? When you read this story, when you hear this story, what do you see? You see love personified. You see love in the best light possible. And I love it when you do stuff like this, Darrell, where you're talking about something and you go, yeah, right, sure. And still make it mean something to a whole lot of us. So, myth, please.
Myth thing.
All right.
I also, it was sort of not hugely pointed out in the story, but that the Femminile, this sort of cult, is still around today. This is not from a zillion years ago. That happens today. These cross-dressing, non-binary, genderqueer people, that they show up at Candlemas in lady dress and to get their candles blessed and whatever, and that's a long-standing tradition, and they are not apparently bothered by the people there in the area. That's just, oh, here they come. This is the day for them, and here they come to get their candles blessed. So that is which happens in religion. You know, we have these myths, and these myths then become part of our story and part of our liturgy. Well, that's there. This story does have a modern application. That this is the spot where they choose to come, these queer people, every year in February.
Fabulous.
To
February
celebrate their
2nd.
community.
Nice.
Yep.
Make that one year.
Well, that's today with the Queer God Squad.
Before we go, we want to invite you to join Sunshine Cathedral in a wonderful travel experience and help our mission for our community. Join us on the Florida Ace Walk Pride Cruise. This unique 3-day cruise will sail from Miami on the $1 billion and ultra deluxe 170,000-ton MSC Seascape on November 2nd, 2005.
25.
The cruise is an incredible value starting at just $199. Parties, special events, and more aboard, including a special unlimited beverage and open bar with Wi-Fi for all 3 days for just $68. We invite you to join us on this amazing cruise for fun, this vital cruise for good.
We want to thank you for joining us. We are here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and discuss what our LGBTQ plus community is talking about. Sunshine Cathedral is the world's leading progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together.
We are all in this together. Remember that.
You are God's miracle, not God's mistake.
Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad.
Goodbye.